My name's Harry Beacle. This car is a 1927 Rolls Royce 20 horsepower Cockshoot Saloon. And I've got a bit of a reputation really for being the car guy in the village, which is, yeah, something I probably do live up to, in fairness. Always got something on the go car-wise. I've got a small collection myself of varying cars. Always working on them on the drive and kind of people passing and getting involved. Always happy to have a chat. Always had a hankering for a pre-war Rolls Royce. If you ask my wife every Christmas without fail, she'd say, "What do you want for Christmas?" Like 1920s Rolls Royce, and she's like, "Ha ha ha, very funny. What do you actually want?" Went to a few different dealers, saw a few different cars, but yeah, this one here, Neffy. NF registration really stood out. So quite a special car. In glorious condition, as you can see. So yeah, ended up with that one, and yeah, I've loved it ever since. Cockshoot only made 13 bodies to go onto the 20 horsepower chassis, and this is the only 6-light saloon that they ever made, and by 6-light it's got the sort of 3 windows down each side, sort of making 6 in total. Customary at the time was to have sort of the glass division and the limousine, but the first owner, an Albert Hartley, who was a prominent miller in the Lancashire area, he was disabled, so he commissioned this car through Cockshoot, and it's actually got a completely removable B-pillar with a clamp at the top and the bottom, so that the B-pillar can be removed. The front passenger seat, and again customary was a bench at the front, but there's 2 individual seats in this car, so that the front passenger seat can tip forward, which gives him a huge amount of access into the rear seats. And he used to use this car quite regularly to go from where he was in Lancashire over to sort of the Welsh coast for sort of day trips and longer. With of course his chauffeur. This was his favoured one because of the ease of getting into it and of course the comfort of a saloon. It'll go anywhere really, not particularly quickly. Apparently it'll do 55-60 mile an hour. It sits more comfortably at sort of 40-45, but yeah, deadly silent. Just cruises along sort of happily and will go anywhere. In past ownership it's been over to France and toured various areas of France. I think the furthest I've been with it's probably about an 80-mile round trip, but that's more time constraint and family and everything else rather than the car's ability. So, but yeah, with this and the other cars, we just try to use them as much as we can and keep the wheels turning really. The car spent, after a few UK owners, it spent a lot of time over in America. And then came back from America in the sort of early mid-90s, was used over here and was in its worst condition in about 1998, 1999, where I've got records of it going through Sotheby's auctions. The condition was in the ad for the car in the auction, was runs and drives but needs everything. So yeah, I've got kind of full details of the restoration that it had. It was 25 years ago now, so it stood the test of time. It's a rarity really to find a saloon that's original with its original body in the condition, which was why I had to buy it when I saw it. It just stood out from the others, sort of head and shoulders. I've driven cars before and had cars before with no synchromesh, so it's sort of double declutching, crash gearboxes, etc, etc. But it's the first car that I'd had with a right-hand gear change. Combining all of those things together made for quite an interesting test drive, but I think the dealer was glad that we bought it in the end and there was still a gearbox left in kind of where it was. It didn't take long to adjust to. Super smooth through the gears. Once you've got used to sort of the gear ratios as such and you're changing back down the box, you know exactly where it needs to go and it slots straight in. It's got the luggage rack on the back as of most cars of the era, and managed to find a company that make them for not terribly sort of expensive money, and it's lived on the back ever since, and it fills the luggage rack nicely and gives us ample storage for chairs and tables and everything else that we need to take if we're going on a day out or a car show or whatever. So probably could fit the kids in there. I haven't yet, but there's still time.